Come, let me get you some.
Yo, 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 what's going down, people? Mundo in the house, Dark Bass in the house, and it is Saber Talk Sunday. Charlie, Titan, Jim, welcome. Charlie, have a good workout, my friend. Have a good workout. I hope you work out really well, dude.
So we,
And I hope everybody's doing good. Go ahead.
so Mundo, we've been off the air for about 2 weeks, and a lot of stuff has happened since then.
Yeah, it has. It has. Have you finished Andor 2?
I have, yes, and I gotta say, it definitely. I actually took a day in between the final episode of Andor season 2 and Rogue One. And the next day when I watched Rogue One, it just everything just meshed together seamlessly. And what's funny is that considering the fact that Andor came out almost 10 years ago. So the fact that Tony Gilroy and all the people who worked on the show were able to seamlessly put it together, it all worked out, so well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, and this is some people may get freaked out by this, but imagine if someone in the middle of a Star Wars convention just shouted, "Dedra Miro is my Gestapo Pookie." Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, and then just imagine just someone doing that. Just like, come on. Oh, God.
That's wow. I mean, turn on the. I gotta turn on the Death Star here.
It's
There we
cringe
go.
and funny, but also let me just say, Kate, if I had to do a droid pair besides R2 and 3PO or HK-47 and T3 M4, it would be K2SO and Chopper. We would travel throughout the
Chopper.
galaxy committing war crime after war crime, and it would just be hilarious.
I gotta tell you, man. I am honored, and I need to say this right now because um, Darth Reese, how he gifted John, right,
Yep,
from Collector's Outpost a Pentastar. Well,
saw
he
that.
also gifted me a Pentastar as well.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
Yes.
you are lucky.
So so he gifted me a Pentastar and he made Anthony one, right? So I'm like I'm gonna turn this on at closer to towards the middle of the show and towards the end of the show. But from now on, the Pentastar will be featured in during the shows.
You know, not
And
to sound jealous, but Reese, if you watch this, I hope that you're taking me into consideration for helping basically co-host this show because I want a very bright blade too. And keep in mind, I'm in Tennessee, where I will basically present it to Luddites. So yeah. Oh, hello there,
what up,
Hey,
Rich?
hey Mundo, how you doing, man?
How's it going?
Rich Santillo.
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm working on a so you can see it like a button solution for an anti-flex.
Ooh, which?
Oh
Which
yeah.
There's 7 chambers one.
Oh, yep. That's wow. That's one of the rare ones, I think. Right?
It's a yeah. I don't really like it all that much, honestly. It's too heavy. It's all brass.
Is
Just-
it?
Well,
It feels just doesn't feel good in your hand to swing around.
I think when we're thinking about considering that the original Anti-Flex, well, the idea of it being heavy would be compatible with that of a real lightsaber. It doesn't make sense that it would feel a little bit more heavier in the hand.
Yeah, that one and the Roman steel one is way too heavy for me. I just don't like how it feels. I mean, I like it, but it's just a shelf queen at that point.
Yeah.
I got it. I got like a 89 Sabers Anti-Flex or Skinny Flex coming tomorrow that I got like super cheap secondhand.
Oh,
So
it's nice.
yeah.
Speaking of Anti-Flexes, this one is the one that I have. and this is a Master Replica's Force FX,
All right.
and it was converted into Profi by Lucky Saber, which it's an incredible. It's very nice, and it's definitely not like the ones that we see today. You know, this one takes a 1 inch blade, which
Right.
I prefer 1 inch blades. My only problem is that I messed up on on putting the config through Arduino, and now when I plug it in, it doesn't read the board, which it's a big that's a big oh oopsie on my part.
So it doesn't read the board at all. Like it
Nope, I put it through the I plugged it into Arduino and it doesn't show up, and that was because in between I accidentally ran it in as a Profi, and halfway through I cut it off because of
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So this that happens with Profi. It's really hard to get back. You have to do like a hard reboot.
I tried the hard reboot, and honestly, I just I couldn't do it. I just the two pin things on there. I just
Yeah.
and I didn't and I don't want to mess it up anymore, so I got to send it back, which it sucks, but honestly, it was just a technical error. So, note to self is that thunder.
Yep. It's thundering up here in Dallas.
Oh,
Oh wow, man! You know the other day that was crazy. We went to go pick up. Last at the beginning of May, before May 4th, man, we went to go pick up my daughter. We're there in College Station, and they were under a tornado warning, three tornado
oh wow.
warnings, man. And it was crazy while we were trying to get her out of the apartment. And, I mean, it came down like crazy, thunder, lightning, everything. And just as we were about packed up, ready to go, it slows down and it stops, and we were able to leave with not everything flooding and everything, and then it continued right after we were gone, man. It's crazy, dude.
Big
Yeah,
Crazy.
times.
yeah,
JD, fix it.
yeah.
Titan
But
says I try to stay away from chrome hilts. They shut the scratch. Oh, the scratches. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I can understand why staying away from Chrome Hilts is a thing. Uh, in my case, in the case of my Anakin, even though it is Chrome, it's an older Chrome. This one is from 2005, so I actually don't mind this one getting a little bit scratched up because, as relic as it is, I especially how Lucky he repainted the eye
Mm.
here as well as the back button. I was thinking that along the ways, if it gets a little bit messed up, it would be fine because it would look like like a sort of what happens to Anakin Saber after Mustafar. I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah.
when you
Makes
go
sense.
through the
Yeah.
Clone Wars, the Battle of Coruscant, and then all the way to the Mustafar system where it's basically lava. I mean, even something as beautiful as this, it's gonna get mauled, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially during the Clone Wars.
What's up, Chad? Now, guys, I'm gonna try something different today. I mean, I've got my wife's mother-in-law's laptop, so I'm gonna try some things. It didn't allow me to do the camera and the sound on here, but I've got it on here, and so I'm gonna run some different things. I'm gonna try some things that I have not yet done on the show with us, guys. So
Okay.
please bear with me. And that's how we're seeing right now. We got the three things. So I'm gonna try to do some of the things that Anthony does on the show to make it a little bit more fun. And I'm
Okay.
gonna try to keep up with a lot more of the comments, So I've got both my phone and I've got the laptop here. And and so and the reasoning behind that is because the laptop is just a little delayed. So that's why I wanted to keep the show on the phone. But a lot of the things that I couldn't do on the phone that I can do on the laptop. So if I'm running both, I'm gonna be able to do a few things. So bear with me and guys. And so I'm gonna try to do some of the little comment things that Anthony would, the little animation things that he would do,
Oh
have a
yeah,
little
yeah.
fun with that.
Like something from out of Twitch or something. I think that's a really good idea.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so
speaking
I'm gonna
of
try to make it a little bit more
speaking of Twitch,
enticing for
speaking of
people.
Twitch, is this streamed also on Twitch? Because I feel like you would also get. I feel like Saber Talk would get a wider audience too if it ended up on Twitch.
Anthony has a Twitch account, but I don't know if it would go to Twitch. I need to talk to him about that and find out.
I'm sure.
And I think that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? To
And
go all over the place. 'Cause
plus, I don't think we would be violating any of Twitch's rules. I mean, not as though we would be saying something weird like, yeah, Twitch is weird.
I wouldn't see, and that's the thing. Mo, if I'm looking a little fuzzy on your screen, it could be because there's some feed coming from the laptop. That's why I put it on the on my phone as well, because I'm trying to take care of things, differently here and see how it's gonna work out. So, like I said, guys, forgive me, but I'm trying something different today, and we're gonna see how well it works out. And if it works out, then I can continue to do it this way. Um, so to me, I like the bigger picture on the laptop, but the phone has a little bit smoother, feedback. So um, I'm really enjoying it that way. So let's see here, and hopefully I can actually uh, keep up with a lot more, keep up with a lot more of the comments and stuff. So we'll see how that turns out, right? And just an update here. I got a little bit more of the thing done, so I still need to do a little bit more of the front. But yeah, it's not looking too shabby, man. Not too shabby at all. So it's getting there. It's getting there. The parts for the Saber parts. I've got it in all silver right here, and then I'm gonna do some copper tones pretty soon to it. So yeah, we're gonna see. Hold on here. Let me see if media it's in. Let's see.
I'm sensing a powerful mind.
There you go. Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna try to do some of this stuff like Anthony does, and we'll see how that works out, man. But yeah, really cool. Like I said, on the laptop, I'm actually able to do it on there, and I'm not able to do it on the phone. I wish I could do it on the phone. It'd be so much better if I could do it all in one, but not a worries, man. So, tell me some of the fun things that Rich. I know that a lot of the fun stories and a lot of the fun stuff that you've done with your sabers is traveling to places with the
Yeah.
sabers. And conventions and stuff like that. Barris has done that. He's gone to in conventions and stuff with the sabers. What is one of y'all's favorite stories? With the sabers in hand, like where have you been besides the Disney place at Batu that you've taken your sabers to and just had a total blast with?
Well, the Disney stuff for sure. I went to
Hmm.
Celebration, which was really fun when it was in LA
Oh,
or
you
in
did
Anaheim.
go. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the last time was in the States. That was really cool. That was like what
Hmm.
2022 maybe. Um,
Yeah.
that was cool. But the coolest place was probably the Star Cruiser. Like when I got to go on the Star Cruiser was to take the Saber there.
Hmm.
It felt like you were just like
Oh, you got to be on the Galactic Star Cruiser hotel experience.
we got to go. We were going to go for my 50th birthday. That was the plan. Which would have been next year.
Yeah.
But then it was closing, so we were just like, well, we got to go now. And so we basically booked or tried to book it or I posted about it on Facebook or something, and then a friend of mine I used to work with told me about her travel agent person that could help me book it, and I figured it would be like, go online, book it, and be done with it. But apparently it wasn't like that at all. So she was like, well, I'll start calling at 6 a.m. to try to get into the queue. I was just like, okay. I gave her a bunch of dates on when I could go. And then she said, she called me while she was on hold. And she basically was like, okay, we wanted like September near to when it closed. But it was like, that date's full, next date. And we got all the way to, I think, July like 3rd. It was like right before 4th of July. And we just booked it and went on it. It was awesome, dude. It was so much fun. It was such a shame that not enough people got to experience it. It was so cool.
I think the biggest problem was they tried to make it like extremely exclusive, and they ended up like overpricing it, I would think. And look, don't get me wrong, they have the right idea. They just need to figure out how to like make it more readily available to other people. Like, I mean, look, you want to sell something like that at a ridiculous price like that, put it in like make something like that for Dubai or for Singapore.
Right.
But like, you got to understand that most people that come to Disney, some of these families they save up for this occasion. So they just dangle something that's like a couple $1,000s extra for that.
Well, see, the thing is, like, having gone through it, I would say this: it was really marketed poorly because it really wasn't for kids. Like, it was an adult experience. If you wanted to get the most out of that experience, you have to be an adult. Because me and my girlfriend were like in it from the second we like got out of the car. We were already in our costumes. We had our character our names, backgrounds. We were in the queue to walk in. There were a bunch of people that were already dressed up. Some people were in like shorts and whatever. But if you were like in it, you never left. Like, we went to one of the events is you go to the park and you could go to anywhere in Hollywood Studios, but you get missions from the ship. It gives you like things to do on your phone. So we never left Batu. We were in Batu all day, and then we just got back on the little cruiser and went back up to the ship. And it was funny because they gave us like a box to carry, a crate to carry back to the ship, like the cast members in the park. And we had these pins. So when the cast members saw the pins that you were on the Star Cruiser, they like treated you differently. Like they let us just pilot the Falcon. Like, it was just me and my girlfriend, nobody else. There's no other crew. It was crazy. But the experience itself, if you're a kid, you're not going to go all in and like play along and really, really get into it. So it really wasn't for a family.
That I can understand. I mean, I feel like Disney was trying to go with how a Westworld experience.
Right.
And I think in that respect, there needs to be a balancing act, because like in the Westworld show, there is obviously a part where where kids obviously participate, but ultimately it's a late adolescent to adult experience, and definitely for hardcore Star Wars fans. But
I mean, think about it. Like, if you're a kid, if you're like 15 or 14, it wasn't your life dream to go into Star Wars. You're only 14 years old and you don't care about hanging out with your family anyway. But like, if you're 14, it's like you grew up with Star Wars your whole life, trying to be like, on the Millennium Falcon or whatever, and you get there and it's like the real thing. It's as close as you can possibly be. The people there, the cast members, were incredible. They had all had earpieces. So while you were there, people were constantly like watching what you were doing and like taking notes somewhere, to where that if you interacted with the character again, they would be like, this is Rin Merrick, and he's a smuggler and he's from La Fall, and like all the stuff you tell them, they know and they give it back to you. So it was really cool to have like a conversation. Yeah, I mean, it was like, there's layers to it that people just don't even realize, because there was a couple people that posted videos that were like, oh, it was overpriced, it wasn't worth it. It's like, but you didn't. If you were there with a camera filming your whole experience, you didn't have the experience you're supposed to have. You were supposed to be a smuggler or whatever. And we actually got on 2 different tracks. So we did like the smugglers track and we did the Jedi track. So we got to go through these two different storylines from beginning to the end. And everything kind of ends at the same point, with the main storyline, but your individual storyline was completely different than somebody else's. And if you were in it, you were in it. I mean, it was like, you would meet people, you wouldn't say, hey, where are you from? It's like you really got into like, what planet are you from, and what's your backstory. Then you can break character and have a conversation. But for the most part, if you wanted to, you could completely, be all in. And that's the thing that was interesting. A lot of people that were there, it was like their second or third. One dude was his ninth voyage.
Oh, that guy must have had a ton of money to burn.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like,
Wow.
it's something. If you're an adult, right, and this is like what you want to spend your money on, it's like it's a vacation that's unique. It's not, you're not going with your kids. You're going to have it yourself.
Absolutely. And I think actually Disney would do well if their marketing was okay. You have a certain age limit to market one thing, and you have a second age group to market the other stuff, right?
Sure.
So if you're marketing towards the kids side of things, market towards the kids and family side of it. And if you're going to market towards the adult side of things, then market towards the adult side of things. Keep those two separated, so that way you have a clear idea. Okay, the family is going to go over here, and then the adults later can go over here, whereas the kids can go by themselves to this side later on. Kind of like on
like how they did
Disney on the cruise, right?
Their cruises, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Magic Adventure. I remember when I used to go on the Disney cruises as a kid, and later as I think I was 12 or 13. I remember the experiences being different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what Disney really should do, if they were ever to bring it back, they should make it 6 months long. It's like a 6-month show that lasts, half the year they do it, half the year it's off. So this doesn't cost, you don't have to have an all year round cost to maintain it. And then change it every 3 years, the different story. You'd have people come back every 3 years, a group, and it would be sold out for 6 straight months. I guarantee it. And, because you know what you're going for. You're not going for to bring your kids. Like, we didn't go to Disney World and then do this. We went for this, and then we were out. It was just, it wasn't a Disney trip. But that was a great place to carry around my Saber, because it was like unique, and people were like, oh, because a lot of people had like the Disney ones. I had like my custom.
Do you ever carry any of your Sabers to work, or no?
Well, I work from home now, so every day now. Like, I always have a Saber on.
Oh, like them.
When I worked in an office, though, I did have a little shelf where I had like an LS6, the Gullwing one. I had that on the shelf. Every once in a while, turn on.
I keep telling people, I keep telling anyone I ever see at Disney who has a Disney Saber, get an upgrade. It may be expensive, but it's worth it. Because
It's not expensive anymore. These Sabers are so cheap now. You can get like a really cheap NeoPixel.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, the recent May the 4th sale from Corbanth, I was able to get an X-Tech Ventress that they sell for $180 with the blade.
Damn.
Too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's especially, and if you build them, like, because if you're an installer too, you can get like the whole cores on like AliExpress for like $30-$40 if you wanted. It has like
well,
all the components you need.
Keep in mind tariffs and whatnot.
Well, I mean, it's got.
I'd rather get the chassis from you, Rich. I'd rather get your chassis.
Oh, sure. That's what I've been doing all day.
I love them, man.
Anakin one. This is this Anakin one.
Oh yeah, that's the one that they use. The 17 TXQ. The TXQ compilation.
Look at that! Oh my god!
Yeah, so
love it.
Cover. I can't find it. I don't know where I put it, but it's battery, and then this chamber. But I've been working on chambers all day because I'm working on another one for like an Ultra Sabers conversion, actually.
Which Ultra Sabers are you doing? Which Ultra Sabers are you doing?
That's a Sentinel, I think. I mean, the guys say it's a gorgeous saber. It's like beautifully etched. So and he had like a baselet in there, so he wanted somebody to convert it. And I was like, I'll take care of it for you. And I, went a little extra and put a chamber in there, but similar chamber design. But it's got to be small because if you know that hilt, there's like the regular handle part, which is the same size like an MHS. So that's where I'll have like the battery and the board, but the end of it kind of tapers to a 1-inch. So this was going to fit in there, and what it'll do is it'll meet like using like one of these little chassis connectors in there, so you can slide it out. Because Ultra Sabers, you can't open it from the middle, so you have to be able to slide the whole core out. So it's the mini core. So it should be cool. This is the old tech that was in it, though. For Ultra Sabers, actually, this is pretty good. This may have been custom installed by somebody else, but it's an old chassis, old board. I think it's like a.
Well, I was rethinking. You know how I had on the balance right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me hold on here. I'm gonna set this up. Bye, baby. One of my daughters is leaving. So so on the balance here, and Rich, you know how I was thinking outside the box, and I put this piece, and then I put the buttons on top, and after doing some things with this, I found that your idea was a whole lot better in putting the buttons down here on the bottom, and then putting this on top, right? I thought I could get away with the buttons on top like this, and it's not working too winnow. So I went ahead and I took the buttons out. I took this piece out, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put these buttons right in here. Let me see.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the buttons like that on one on each side, and then put this part in there. And well, I'm gonna wire them up first, and then I'll glue them in there, and then I'll set it that way with this piece on top. Because the way I was doing it, it just wasn't working, and I'm like, man, I should have done a lot. I should have done it that way the first time, and
so how are we going to
I
secure
just
the board on top of it? We're going to use a little glue to secure the board on top of the buttons.
yeah. On the buttons, I'm gonna just do a little dab of the E6000 and just put it like that.
Yeah, as long as it's
So
got enough
I'm
wood
gonna
rocker.
yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna E6000. Well, I'm gonna wire the buttons first, and then and then I'll E6000 into the channel, right? I'll E6000 then to the channel like this, and then I'll put the little tiny dab of the E6000 on the top, and then let that little board just sit on top of the buttons.
Yeah.
So then
You might want to see if we can put maybe something either I can send you down something, or we can try to wedge something in there to kind of sit on like the middle that you can glue that to, so it'll rock a little bit. Because if you glue it on the button, it'll lock the button sometimes. It'll actually glue the button down. It happens with buttons are the worst part about any Saber. I've decided that has been the bane of my existence is the buttons, because you can get everything ready, and then all of a sudden the button wire got a little bent, and it just will inadvertently fire off, by mistake.
So yeah, and I think I'm kind of overthinking things a lot though. But I like your idea of putting something in the middle for a little rocker thing. So I'll figure something like that out. That should be pretty good to do something like that. And that'll be a lot of fun to try out and stuff. And I thank you so much for showing me those things. Now I've screwed up a couple of screws already trying to sand them down to hold the chassis in place. Oh my God, I've got to order a whole bag. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it just right.
I have a whole bin of just 832 screws at different lengths, and then just because you'll need them for something, just tons of them. Like these guys, right? They're for Cover Tech ones. These guys have thousands.
Yeah.
Because they usually have long ones, have to shave them down or cut them down. It's it's too long, too short. So.
Yeah.
These are actually really cool for for chassis though, to like make them a little
Are they?
longer into the hilt, so you can kind of like
Mhm.
guide the chassis down. Is always a nice way to do it.
Mhm.
That's the Ventress. Is that the
Yeah, this is the one that X Tech makes, and the one that Kyber that why did I say Kyber Farms? That
Corvette?
Corvette was selling. And honestly, it looks really nice for an X Tech. Access to the chassis where you have to take these two pins on the bottom, and it's connected through a and the chassis is connected to the PCB NeoPixel module, which you have to disconnect. But
Oh,
after
wow.
that, I mean, but thankfully, because it's on a kill switch, you can put it in and it'll mostly be fine, and you don't have to deal with it until after one day at a convention. So
So is that the same one that KR was selling to?
no, the one that KR Sabers made is one based off of the one that recently came out with.
Okay, so that's the old Clone Wars
This
version.
is the one that she had when Ventress would use, that was technically given to by Count Dooku. In Legends, it belonged to Dooku's former apprentice Komori Vosa.
Okay.
That was the first iteration of her sabers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah.
These are technically their first appearance was in the 2003 Clone Wars shorts. And it became much more detailed in the comics and in the Clone Wars show that we all know and love today.
What is your favorite iteration of Ventress's saber? I like the last ones that she did.
The yellow one? The
Yeah.
yellow blade?
Well, the thing about the
Mhm.
yellow one is that it combines the curved design that she was used to in the Clone Wars with it being a single hilt, so she could use it not only for double hilt, for not only two-handed combat, but I would say it all depends on your personal preference and how you would utilize. Because with this, I mean, sure, you could grip it with two hands, but not like fully. Like you see, like I can barely grip it with my hands like this without touching the two buttons. So, and this is more for like single wield. And admittedly, this is a chunky hilt.
Yeah. Does it feel life size, or does it feel like exaggerated? Like from I forget the show what her hand looked like around it, but was it smaller in the show?
Well, she had very long fingers, from not like Aura Singh long, like witch tag nails, but
right.
Her hands were certainly not like big, but like I don't want to say anything more because it just feels like I'd be insulting the femininity of Ventress.
I just mean like the hilt itself. It seems like
it feels very lifelike, and this is definitely a heavy duty. Even without the chassis in, it definitely feels much more weighted. It feels, I would say, if I was wielding a second one, it'd feel more balanced in that regard. But yeah,
that's cool. It's cool saber. I remember. The first time I went to Galaxy's Edge is when I first opened, and they had those as like the initial legacy hilts.
Yeah, the
was one of them.
Yeah,
but I didn't really like the Clone Wars yet, so I really didn't know much about those sabers at the time. They did have the Ahsoka ones, which were just giant. It was just obscene how big those things were. It was just
like are we talking like bigger than the ones that Ultra Sabers sells?
Or? Oh, yeah, dude, it was. They were. If you Google and Legacy Ahsoka, the initial ones, the initial launch, they were just huge. It was like the size of my forearm. Right, that's how long.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh man, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I mean, with Ahsoka's, I plan on. I'm hoping to trade in
love those hilts.
89 sabers.
I like the idea
one of these days,
sabers, but I just never want to get them. I got the Disney ones of her Clone Wars one, and they're just in a box. I don't even have them displayed.
Yeah, I mean, one of the
I
things
love those kind of stuff.
one of the good consequences that has come from the Disney Sabers are the amount of artisans and 3D printers and accessories that are being made by artists and vendors on Etsy. And
Oh yeah,
those
for
that
sure.
can also be used for other sabers too.
Yeah, I mean the Disney helps. I mean, the legacy ones are pretty nice. If you're just someone who wants to have something that looks like a nice prop versus like a toy, the Disney sabers are nice. Now, I mean, you put the blade in and they're not very responsive or loud. It's like whatever. For most people, that's probably enough. But for people like us, it's like not. So you just
Yeah.
get some.
When I for example, when I went to yesterday, there was a children's strings concert, Suzuki Foundation, and they were and they asked a bunch of us from our local cosplay group, Tatooine, to come and dress up as Star Wars characters, and we did. And I think besides the kids with the kids' performance, I kept my lightsabers off, but the kids, they just gathered around to see them because the ones I had, they were just amazing by it. But these are like kids between ages like 7 to 13, and they were playing violins and a couple were playing the cello, and really talented kids.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, Barris, what other places have you actually taken your sabers to besides cons? And do you plan on taking it to other places other than cons?
Well, if I get the chance to, definitely. In fact, 2 weeks from now is Saber Strong in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and it's for the Saber Legion. So,
Cool.
I've signed up to do standard, which is basically the basic combat level, which is like a long saber sword, like sparring saber sword, like HEMA, like European sword. And I also chose to do exotics, which is anything between a cross guard, a pike, a staff, or a dual wield. And I have chosen to do dual wield. In fact, today I had a practice with the Saber Legion out in Fort Oglethorpe, and I used my mauls for the first time in a long time, and I ended up losing. It was 7-3, me being 3, but I honestly did a lot better than I thought I would, all things considered.
So, are you fighting with baselit or pixels?
It is possible to fight with pixels.
Mm-hmm.
The world champion of Saber Legion, Bobby Zavala, he won his championship belt with a pixel blade. But I think I would say if you have a bunch to spare, do it. But baselit is definitely the best way to go.
Yeah, I have one saber that I still kept as baselit. It's like an old Saber Forge. It's a stunt saber. I didn't even have the sound in it. It's just like, and that's it's a tri-cree green. So it's super bright.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, say what you will about Ultra Sabers and Saber Forge from back then.
No, for sure.
But if you're gonna be like whacking the hell out of something, Ultra Sabers is definitely that. And if
it depends on what you're in too. Because when I was doing dueling, I was in LSL. I wasn't doing TSO. So it was like 3/4 inch blades or 7/8 blades, depending on what it was. So it was mostly a one-handed saber style. You do two hands, you're too slow against one-handed. So it's like you got to do one hand. So Saber Forge, their little disciple Shoto, is a really nice one-handed saber, light. It was fun. It was super fun. It hurt. Get hit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you had proper padding on, and I mean.
Oh yeah, I had the gear.
Oh yeah.
I actually had a really cool fencing helmet that somebody had painted a temple guard for me, and it looked like the hood.
Oh, dude.
Did that ever show you?
That would be badass. That was badass. That sounds cool. I can picture it right now.
Who's the head of the Knoxville chapter of Saber Legion? His name is James Knox, actually, and his whole getup is like flamingo, and he's got like a pink kilt, like pink pads, like he's a crazy individual. You would love him. He's very eccentric. He's just an awesome guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get him on the show one time.
but it's all very exciting, and I'm looking forward to competing for the first time with Saber Legion Chattanooga.
Oh, that's good.
Not in Nashville in a couple weeks.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Yes,
You
sir.
got it. Hold on. We gotta get close up here.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
look at that,
Isn't that
dude.
badass?
And you
That's
can see
badass.
and you can
Badass.
see. Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta get
Wow.
a screenshot of this. I want to send this
Wow.
to Bobby
Sure.
Zavala. He's. Hold on. Give me a second.
Wow. That
Oh
is
my God.
insane.
Okay.
That is
Wow.
insane, dude.
I'm sending this. Sending this to them. They are going to. They're going to dig this. I'm hoping to do something.
I forget the guy who did it. It was an artist. I found him on Facebook. He did he did fencing masks, and because I saw him do something like a temple guard, and he was like, I don't repeat designs. You know, I never understood that as an artist myself. I'm like, why would you not repeat designs? But anyway, so I found a different picture of something with more of the hooded one. He's like, all right, I can do that. When he sent me this, I was like, this is way more than I could possibly have expected. It was awesome.
Well, I just bought my a fencing mask after testing the loaner gear that I got today. So I'm happy to get it in. So if you find out who that is, please message me because
I'll look for it. It's somewhere in my. I think if you searched on Facebook like fencing masks painter, I'm sure he'll be the only one. Like he's that guy. Like there was just one, and he was just.
Do you remember how
much? It was
much
awesome. It was like, I think I paid like $130 or something like that. But like I shipped it to him on a Friday, and he sent it back to me on Monday, and it was done.
That is a very, very good price. Like that's.
I know somebody who would have loved that mask, man.
It is.
Yeah. But that's incredible, Rich. That's like, wow.
Yeah, the hood is always like I had an all white armor, like that was like my thing, right? My look was a white armor with like the white pads and everything. That was just
like play some like monk chants like
on my Instagram Mundo, I think I have pictures of me in my armor.
Yeah.
Somewhere. If you want to see the full thing, it's at LSM Sabers on Instagram.
LSM Sabers.
Yeah. You'll have to look and see. It was a long time ago. It was a couple of years ago when I got this painted. Let's see.
Some things just work, man. You know, and those are the things that we look forward to that actually are so kick ass like that, and that they work. And no matter what you're doing or having fun with, you can always utilize stuff like that, man, to make the experience that much better. And I love the fact that goes like that.
Yeah, the hood part was a thing that's just like so cool. It's just like, whoa, like what a talented.
Yeah.
It's all airbrushed too. The whole thing's airbrushed. I mean, it's like that's what's wild.
Oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing work, and that's another thing. Artists that come along and they do stuff like this that accentuate, if I may, and they accentuate, the experience of what you're going for and what you're going after. And in utilizing that mask, and oh my god, dude, I mean,
I found it.
Just looking at it. Really?
Yeah, it's his name is it's custom fencing mask artwork by Taki. His name is Taki. Dude, his stuff is absolutely incredible. If you look at his his just array of options that he's made, yeah, Taki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Saber,
He was a
Saber
big
mask.
time fencer.
Let's see if I can find these photos. Yeah.
Now, do
Oh,
y'all
this
do y'all
definitely,
practice with
definitely
your
did.
sabers on the daily sometimes,
Oh, mine's on there. I
or
actually
do
put it
you?
on there. That's funny.
Is it?
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna
You
have to
did.
check it out.
Hey, you put it on there.
Taki, Takiness.
Yeah, I don't know if I can upload a picture or something like that. I don't know.
I'm
Have
looking
y'all
at.
seen some of the new sabers coming out? Have y'all seen some of the new sabers coming out? Well,
The only
especially like
saber I
Jerry
want,
sabers.
I want just the Skeleton Crew one from KR. That's the only one I want right now.
Yeah,
That's a
the one.
good one. I like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, I like the balance of like the brass and the aluminum looks really cool.
Honestly,
Mhm.
the one from KR is nice. I'll give it that. I actually, to be honest, I don't mind the one that the SC version from TXQ is pretty nice. And even though the one by LGT is not as accurate as the one from the film, it still looks nice.
Oh yeah,
And what
it kind
matters,
of reminds me.
what
It
matters
reminds me
to
of like
me
the Archon.
is how it works. It's
What's
just
that?
what matters to me is how it looks in the end. And I don't mind a few blemishes or a slight inaccuracy as long as it works well.
Yeah, I mean the design it's a cool design. I would say that, and I like how it's like the right size. Like that's the one thing about the Acolyte I hated. People go back and forth, about like, well, the show was this, was this. I'm like the sabers are the worst part of that show. They just look terrible.
The Acolyte, they definitely missed on a lot of things.
But no more than the sabers. They
even at
completely missed on the sabers.
I mean, even towards the end of the Acolyte, with the final fight between Soul and the Stranger, like you could tell even the way the blades were being done, how they were being rotoscoped, it just looked like there was a white core in the middle. And I'm not sure if that was a problem because of the editing team, if they ran out of time doing it, if they cheaped out on it. But it just looked like it was. I looked at it. I did a double take, and it just looked like
The Acolyte was rushed. The Acolyte was rushed, and you could tell from the very beginning that it was
I
rushed.
don't know. There's so many things about that show that they could have fixed. But like I said, the sabers are just because I was like, that was that perfect opportunity to have all these awesome
the
new saber designs.
Concept art was incredible.
Yeah.
And they had all these people and all these characters, and most of the characters were lame, but whatever. There was lots of new sabers. There was like the Wookiee guy, there was the Apprentice, there was there was Trinity's, there was like at least 8 or 9 sabers they could have had, and they all sucked. Every single one. Like just the worst design.
I mean, I would say the closest. I mean, even the ones made by LGT and TXQ, even if they looked very plain, they still look a lot better than the ones that are from the show. And that's saying something. When a Chinese manufacturer makes better hilts than your company does, that says volumes.
They just, I don't know what it is.
I mean, look, I'm actually going to be meeting Roger Christian at MetrothonCon in the middle of June next month, and I am going to ask the question: what do you think of the hilts from the Acolyte? I'm going to ask him, get his reaction.
Here's what I find comical because Kymir's hilt, right? I mean, the idea is cool that you have a sub blade with the regular hilt, but that damn thing looked like a busted up cannon barrel.
Yeah, there's just no design to it. There's no thought to the design. It's just,
honestly, from a certain perspective, it looked like if you looked at it like as like the base of a spine, it kind of looked like a blackened like vertebrae line from a spine almost.
No, I have to disagree with that.
Maybe, I don't know. But honestly, yeah.
It was like his saber was pretty plain looking, but it was okay. Like you could have done some cool stuff with it. But the thing, I mean, I didn't read.
No shade on Manny Jacinto. He did a great job. He did a great job.
What's that?
I think Jackie's was cool.
Jackie
I
was
think
cool.
Jackie's. I think was just a little big for her. I
They
think
all
if
were.
it was a little bit,
It was
they
stupid.
are were, but I think
It was plain
I,
looking.
I I think
Yeah, plain too.
I think yeah, but I think if they slimmed down Jackie's hilt and put a like probably any pommel from the custom saber shop, man, that it would have been 10 times better looking, right?
Yeah, no, it would. I mean, they could have done a million. I mean, you could take the design inspired by those hilts and do like an idealized version. It would probably be pretty cool. You know,
Yeah.
maybe like if somebody had the time and wanted to do that, that might be.
I can think of a few
Mhm.
people on DeviantArt who would for that. Even someone using AI could make a better saber.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that a couple of times. I've gone to ChatGPT and like, hey, design a lightsaber hilt. And they've done some pretty cool things. It comes back with useful
I've
I mean,
information.
seen a
here's the funny
few.
thing.
I've seen a
Here's,
few. They
you want
were
to hear something
pretty
funny?
neat.
You want to hear something funny? In universe with those lightsaber hilts, you can only think, wait, if those are being designed 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace, does that mean Hu Yang helped them build those lightsabers? And you're just thinking
Yeah.
to yourself, Hu Yang, where is your design?
Well, I
Where
mean,
is your
it's not
creativity?
even that. It's like because I didn't read the books like the High Republic books, but I did
Yeah,
start reading one, and the cover art has cool looking sabers. It was just the
yeah, Stellan
particular
Giros.
production design of that show. They just didn't spend a lot of time thinking about that. You know, and
Yeah.
it's just fine. And I said that show's a footnote. It'll be gone. It's gone forever. It doesn't matter.
Look,
They
I
might.
will say though that there are some in the fan base that have been asking for a season 2, which I mean I don't blame them. It definitely left that sort of cliffhanger note with it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would have been interested to seeing what would happen and how it would end up becoming, Palpatine, how Plagueis would
Well,
end
they
up.
had the Plagueis thing in there. I mean, put it this way: like, if they put it on TV, I'm watching it. Call me shill, whatever. I
Yeah.
was convinced when I was, 9 years old that I would never get Star Wars ever again. 1983, that was it. There was never going to be Star Wars ever again, and now we get it all the time. So why am I complaining about it? It's just,
I'm not complaining.
Right.
yeah, so
Right.
The only thing I
if
will
I don't want to
complain
watch
about,
it, I won't watch it.
the only
It's
thing
fine.
I will take note of is whoever thought it would be a good idea to make Darth Vader an AI accessible character in Fortnite. That's just hey Reese.
Darth Reese is in the house. What up?
Yeah, because I'm seeing videos from the whole Star Wars Fortnite thing with people asking Darth Vader the dumbest questions, and then you have James Earl Jones's AI voice repeating back, and even cursing, Darth Vader cursing, and I'm just like, I'm laughing at how dumb it is, and then they're just fans being like, "Oh, why did Disney do that? It's disrespectful to James Earl Jones. He signed his voice away." So there is some point in the back of his mind when he made this decision that this would happen.
Yeah.
no, I'm so
May you
over
rest in
anyone.
peace, oh great one. We
Yeah,
still
no, I mean, I'm
So
over
now that Reese is here, and I stated earlier that he gifted me a Pentastar. Reese, this is for you, buddy. I'm gonna light her up, man. Since you're here, I'm going to light her up right now, and I'm using the new 21700 batteries that I got. Of course,
Oh, nice.
if I and these are it's these batteries right here,
Is that the one you
and
have to use the little magnet to get to fit?
yep.
Oh,
And so it's
don't
like,
blow
my
up.
God, the little magnet. Look, I still got the little magnet on there, right? I have to use the little magnet to make sure that it touches the tabs, man.
Oh gosh.
So Reese, this for you, man. Man,
Oh my
some
god.
bitch is bright.
Wow.
This bastard is bright.
The hue
I
in
tell you.
the hue from the camera on you, it turns from red to like orange red to red. It's like, yeah, this thing is
Wow.
bright. my god!
I mean, it's just fantastic, man. I've
That's
been
awesome.
playing with this thing. Uh, let me get a. I'm gonna do a different color.
Like seriously, it would work so well even in the day.
Do cyan.
It would,
Mundo. That seems to be the brightest one. Cyan one.
right?
If just
Let's
my
see here.
VR stick, when I use cyan, it's like super bright. So I can only imagine how good bright it's going to be with that thing.
Volume control activated.
No, I don't need volume control. Well, maybe I'll turn it down just a little bit.
Volume adjusted.
I don't want it too loud.
Love that Golden Harvest, man.
Oh, it's awesome, man! I can't wait to do.
Volume control
It's my favorite
activated.
board.
Volume adjusted.
And I
Which look is
cannot
that?
wait to wear it.
This is the R2J Hero. This one is actually the Nexus version, and I mean, I know some people don't like Nexus LGT, but I love the attention to detail, especially when it comes to the grips here, because
The rings, yeah.
yeah,
I haven't seen that hilt. I haven't seen that one.
it has different attachments, and I got this one in particular because it has an extra attachment at the top that grips more the blade. Because thin necks don't grab as much.
LGT or TXU?
LGT.
I have a
Volume control activated.
I have a TXQ, the Book of Boba Fett one. I really like that hilt. It's just I wish the interior of the neck was bigger so I could design a better chassis for it. But it's a cool looking hilt.
Yeah, the step plugs that TXQ uses, they're not that bad, but I just wish that they weren't, that they would use the rotary ones where you could just stick it in and it wouldn't bother it.
Oh yeah, for the
Yeah,
cores.
but I got this one from a guy named Chris Thornton, who has his own little drop ship, but he also deals with electronics. So he basically got upgraded the speaker on my chassis to. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Is that purple or magenta? Okay.
No, I haven't even gotten to the purple one yet. There's the
Wow.
there's the magenta right there. Oh no, that's right. But there's the magenta right there.
Oh wow.
But it's got that orange and that purple too.
Oh my god.
That purple.
One day I'll get one of those.
And then we'll go through all the colors here, man. Man, it's just crazy. Look at that. The green is absolutely one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
The green blue, the cyan, it looks like it's ghostly almost.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
I
just
can't tell
sick.
through,
I
I
mean,
can only tell it through the. Oh my god! Wow.
the yellow is just sick, man. This is the orange.
I bet you like so when I got the Mace Windu, the 89 Mace Windu, like I wanted the I got it empty, but it came pre-wired for their kit, the 89 kit. The wiring that they used is definitely not the right grade. So I wonder if one of those hilts could even drive that blade.
I do not think so. But that's why when I order from that's why when I order from any supplier. Your Saber is an interrupting cow. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, that's the right.
Look at that. Oh my god, look at that glow right there. That's
just the blade. I'm talking about the
aura.
UI. It's an interrupting cow.
I'm happy to oblige.
That's why when I order my hilts from now on, I'm not, unless I get it. If I either get it through a vendor, an American vendor, or through someone that I know from Facebook, who knows X-Tech or TXQ, I'm going to ask them to do a quick study through of all the wiring and whatnot and upgrade this because it may cost more for the maintenance, but look, ultimately it all comes down to just how it works, because last December my Jedi Dooku, the board basically caught fire and almost caught fire. And
who was the installer on that one?
I got it directly installed from AliExpress.
Oh,
That figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm empties. I'm all over that, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
buy
To be fair, I think it also was due to the fact that I was outside and it was cold weather. Maybe maybe because the surge protector wasn't
I don't
either
know.
way.
They don't use So that's the other thing too. They don't use protected batteries. Like the core that I got for one of my clients wanted a SMV4 hilt, so I did a Obi-Wan chassis for episode 4 in a Profi. Then he wanted it to be in SMV4, so I got a core on AliExpress. The first thing I noticed when I took that thing out was like, this is not a protected battery. I'm like, get rid of that thing, you know.
Right. And I think the protected batteries is one of the most important things because if you
Oh
don't
yeah,
get I mean, if you don't get, and some people don't know this though, man. Some people think, oh, I got a cheap battery, this, and that, but they don't really know the difference between the protected battery and the non-protected battery. And essentially, for the newbies that don't know it, I mean, you're got a pipe bomb on your hands if you
yeah.
don't have a protected
Oh
circuit.
my God.
Dude, do you know how many times, Mundo, when I've even when it still happens every once in a while, but like not really all, but earlier when I was installing Sabers, if you ever had that little bridge and then that thing starts smoking, you're just like pulling the shit out as fast as you can.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I started smelling smoke. I looked down at my Saber. Why wasn't it turning on? I go inside. I start undoing it, and I'm just like, holy shit!
Start pulling. If you just like take a second,
Yeah.
calmly.
Well, the first
But kill
time that
switches are great.
the first time that I freaked out about it is the EvoFlex that I have, right? And I know I've got a protected battery. Well, the battery that they use, and you know, Dave's I mean, he's an awesome guy. I love the guy to death, man, because he's trying to do the right thing. I guess out of the hundreds or thousands of batteries that his team has put in, I got a bad one, right? Because later on, it really didn't work. It wouldn't even charge anymore. But on top of that, the one time that I had turned it on after getting it back, and I think this was in the time that I had sent mine back to get fixed. And I think within that time that I sent it back, that was the time that Dave was getting ripped off and just going through all kinds of bad crap, dude. And so whoever worked on my Saber just kind of did a bad job. And it's not Dave's fault, because he's got a lot on his plate and everything.
Yeah.
But I found I end up having I took the board out and I found two MOSFETs burned out.
Oh,
Two
in the
MOSFETs
EvoFlex?
burned out. And yeah, in the EvoFlex. And also a couple of wires that came loose. So I was like, oh my God, dude. And so I was like, Dave, I mean, I can't send it back anymore, man, because it just I can't put any more money into it than I already have. I mean, I'm going to eventually get it fixed up, but right now it's on the back burner, and I love my
It's empty.
EvoFlex.
So I have an EvoFlex. I
Huh?
love it. I have an EvoFlex
Yeah.
too.
I mean,
I like it.
oh, dude, it is such a badass hilt. Dave has, I think that is Dave's best hilt out of all of them. I think that is his best hilt out of the whole site.
If
But
yours
don't
is
quote me on that
empty,
either. He's got a lot of other great hilts.
if yours is empty, Mundo, and I have a chassis
Hmm.
I like for it. It's like, because the one thing about the EvoFlex, his
Mm-hmm.
design that I don't like is um, it doesn't take advantage of all the cool openings.
Right.
So like this thing,
Oh,
Ah,
wow.
look at that.
so it's like uses all these cool holes, right?
Yeah,
Wow, that is holy.
Isn't that
that
cool,
is
right?
sweet. That
It's such a
is,
cool-
dude.
It's such a cool hilt that I was always so disappointed in the way it functioned because it didn't have use of all these little cool things.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
so the only thing I did with this one is I don't have the little touchpad thing. That
Right.
I'll lose that.
Right.
But yeah. So if you ever want to take yours over, if you want to not use the initial design that they have, let me know, man. I'll put one of these chassis in there for you because it's cool.
Oh, for
It doesn't
sure,
have
dude.
it doesn't use the touch pad. I just put like a regular old clamp card on it. But
I mean, the touchpad was
Right.
was an interesting idea, but it just I don't know. It doesn't fall short.
You know, when mine worked, it worked pretty decent. I really enjoyed it, but I find that it kind of it was a little lackluster. But you know, oh, you're welcome, Reese, man. And dude, I mean, it is such a badass hill, and I love Dave so much that you know with what he's doing, and I can honestly say for Dave that you know he is gone beyond above and beyond because trying to do the right thing and fix everything that you know with his expense
that sucks, man.
that
He got screwed over, right? That's
he got screwed over bad, dude. He got screwed over
that's
bad,
unfortunate, man.
and you know I'll try it and I'll text him, man. I mean he's going through a lot of shit and a lot of people you know are telling him you know hey I ordered this and this and this and that, but people just don't understand. You know he's trying to get back to where he was previous before this stuff, and people get a little impatient, and I understand. But and I tell people too, it's been over 5 years for me, and I'm still willing to wait to get it fixed when until he catches up and gets everybody he needs to get. You know what I mean? I'm not in a hurry for it, but I tell you, he is one of the very few installers that has had that done to him and continues to move forward to do the right thing. And that I admire Dave for because some installers I think they would just get so frustrated that I'm done with it, you know, or they take your money and run.
It's a cool
I've seen
design,
a
though.
few installers. It
It's a
really
really
is,
cool
and
design.
it feels good in the hand. It feels good in
Yeah.
the hand.
I got it
It's
secondhand.
very
Somebody
comfortable.
had I traded a DV6 empty
Hmm.
for an empty EvoFlex. And I was just like, because I mean, I really liked the design. I just never really was interested in the electronics part of it because I just, like I said, I just feel like this, this little section in the middle with like the lights would be cool, and they just didn't have what I wanted. So when I got it empty, I was like, definitely. So
Oh yeah.
it's a
Did
cool
you
hill.
put a little? Did you put a little crystal chamber in there or no?
Yeah,
I didn't look at it.
there's like two little windows because there's like this and this. So
Right. I thought I saw one. I thought I saw one. I was just
yeah,
like, I looked at it and I'm like, ah, damn, that looks so cool. Oh, the blinkies got me right away.
yeah. So there's a little one right there, and then there's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
another kind of
Perfect. See, perfect.
like power cell thing
Yeah.
with a little net in there. So
Mm-hmm. Perfect, man.
let's see.
Wow. Amazing, dude. Amazing.
Yeah, so
I love
slow
that.
down.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want Mundo, send yours up. I'll install it up for you. Get it fixed up for you.
Oh, cool. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I've got it emptied already, so get all the parts. Definitely for sure. Oh, thank you, babe.
So that's the Philly cheesesteak, and then that one is Hawaiian.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
And you too.
I got a good wife, man. I tell you,
No.
good wife.
Hey, Rich,
Yeah, she buys all my Star Wars stuff for me, man. I heard the only thing I really buy for myself is the Saber stuff, but I kid you not, man. She buys a lot of my other stuff, and I'm like, dude, she takes care of me. She takes care of me Star Wars wise. She don't enjoy it, but hey, she loves that I enjoy it. So
That's awesome, man.
really
Or
cool.
were you asking?
For your Book of Boba Fett, do the arrows on the control box light up?
Well, they do now. I got it empty, so yeah.
What's interesting about the LGT ones is that the reason why it's a little bit more expensive is because on the inside of the control panel, it has an extra switch. And when you turn on the hilt, depending on which font you use, it actually it turns on. So,
That's a kill switch then?
well, no, the kill switch is on the inside of the chassis. This turns the greebly turns the arrows on and off. So if you don't want them on, so
Oh, okay, that's cool.
so if I want to turn them off, I just
That's
off.
Oh,
On.
that's cool. But that wasn't that a thermal detonator sound font though?
No,
When you
that
turned
was
that on?
no, that was from the cave scene.
Yeah, that's the cave one.
Oh, okay.
Does
yeah.
it do the sequence, or is it just on and off?
No, it's just on and off when you turn it on.
Does the red blinky go, or is it just?
Well, yeah, actually, the red one does go, but when I do it on the dark side font, give me a second.
Sure.
Harvest.
Rich, you've done quite a few of those, right? You've done a few of those.
You see it? It's on.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, not the LGT.
How many of those had you done?
one. Oh, I've done a ton of Lukes. Like, I probably have done 20 maybe Lukes. Whether it be like the hero or the V2 or different kinds of heroes. I have too many Lukes as it is. I have a hero or a KR1, MHS, Mom.
Oh wow!
Book of Boba Fett. What other one do I have? The Rescuer.
Wow.
2 creepy uncles.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, too many Lukes. But what's funny about the Lukes is that they're all the same. Is that the hero, like the box, is the hardest thing to do. The damn blinkies are so hard because of hold that Luke up for a second, like the camera. So the biggest problem with the Lukes are the part of the chassis, the hilt, doesn't separate past the control box. It only separates at the pommel for most of them. So that's a 3.5 inch piece that makes your design decisions for chassis really difficult because you have to have access to the board. So that's one of the things that's hard with Luke. The other thing you can do is put the board into the grenade section, which is a good place for it, and the battery in the back. But then you limit your crystal chamber options. So like the best kind is where the let me get the custom Saber Shop one.
but yeah, I mean, I can understand how difficult it would be, and I'm sure it would be a similar thing with the stunt version too.
Right. So the custom Saber Shop one opens like most Lukes do. Like this, the only thing that opens is the pommel.
Yeah.
If this part opened, it would be way easier to design for.
Oh wow.
But so this one has a sled, right? Your speaker and negative power, and then this chamber is like you can do like a top chamber like that where the board is here, and then you have the chamber here. That's one way to do it for thin necks.
I feel like your design that could be a really good inspiration for for TXQ's Book of Boba Fett. If they want to do their own version of that, because I mean they did it with Anakin Starkiller's Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4, but I think you're onto something here, Rich.
Well, the problem with that particular Boba Fett hilt is that the inside is super narrow. It's probably maybe 19 millimeters, maybe. So you can just get a pancake PCB in there, but
oh my God,
not much else. So if they had it wider, it would be a better design.
Like
this is pretty common
like a
for
couple
thin
centimeters. You're saying?
Like so the best. So the inner diameter of this one is 1 inch.
Okay.
So 25 millimeters. I always work in millimeters with chassis because it's just easier because they're whole numbers.
European works.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, we're silly that we don't do metric system in this country, but I mean, anyway. This is about a 1 inch, so there's enough room to get a board and a chamber in here pretty comfortably, or a battery. If you want to put the battery in here, and then the board could be on the back side, which works fine. That's your best use of the space, because you can't have access to it here because the board, you can't get to it, so it's got to be either on here as well, which on top of itself, but that doesn't really leave that much room either. So, but this MHS hilt, this MHS Hero is a pretty nice hilt. I'm pretty impressed with this one. They did a really good job. The rings are idealized, right? But for the most part, everything else is
iron.
Yeah.
I think this one has.
But that's what I think I like about the new more. That's what I'm really looking like about how TXQ and LGT have been ramping up on their design, because I mean, even though they're not, this one, it's not idealized. I mean, you could tell the grenade section is like
darkness.
different. It's like it's very consistent, and honestly, you gotta appreciate it.
I know Anakin Starkiller did the Book of Boba Fett.
He did, yes.
And it's a nice hilt. You can tell it's his design. Like, his stuff is great. I've done a couple of his hilts. The Rescuer, I've done Hallowex's Rescuer. So it was like super perfectly weathered. It was awesome. I don't know if you know who Danny Hallowex is or not, but his interiors of his hilts are really not installer friendly. So you really got to get creative in how you work on them.
I really feel like you should tell him that in person.
Oh, I think I've told Danny many times. I've told Alex that many times, and he's told Scar Hill, I'm sure. Like, I think he's just released. He just posted. I guess like a design or a sketch of. I want to say it's the Yuma, I guess. So my question to Danny was like, is Star Killer's going to have that thing open in the middle? Like, is he going to open the middle? And he's like, I think so. So,
wait, is he doing his own version of the Star Killer Hill?
No, Anakin Scar Killer.
My bad.
But like he's doing a Yuma, and I think he posted a picture of Qui-Gon he's working on, and Aniflex. So Anakin Scar Killer Aniflex would be pretty cool. I think that'd be
cool.
I like it.
Right? I mean, it would definitely be a trade.
I like it.
Interrupting cow.
I told you I was gonna try something different, man.
I mean, look, there are probably like 15 versions of the Aniflex already out there, and I mean, what's one more?
Yeah, I mean, the one I had, like I said, the 7 chambers one, I like. It's just really heavy. I'm getting the 89 one. It's coming tomorrow, I think. I'm gonna see what that's like, and I like 89 Saber's designs. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're well built. They're well built.
Yeah.
I will say that with 89 Sabers, I don't know why they decided to make their own version of the episode 5 Graphics, because it's not even accurate. But
yeah, I don't have that one. I got the KR one, but I love their Graphics Supreme. I love that hilt. So we're having weather tornadoes, looks like.
Weather.
Yeah, tornado warning. We're fine.
But yeah, their graphics.
And I tell you, Rich, your weather is about as bipolar as my guys over here.
Your weather is as bipolar as the Katy Perry song.
Dallas weather is crazy. Man.
It's crazy. It is
crazy. Yeah,
I mean, my daughter used to live. She was over there at UTA, and Rich is not too far from there. I mean, he's about an hour or so away. But man, when we went, I mean, my daughter would tell me the crazy stuff that the weather was going on. I mean, it'd be sunshine, and the next week, I mean, full blown, storms, and then the following week it'd get cold. Like, God damn! Like, that thing bipolar weather over there, but we get bipolar weather over here too, man. The weather over here, it got so windy that it was blowing the plastic pool that we had uh to my fence like nothing, man.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
that's your stuff.
crazy.
That's
So
what is that the
this
89?
is a MHS V2.
Oh wow.
So it's not like the weathering is not completely screen accurate, but for me it's close enough. But the cool thing about this is one where the whole grenade is a reveal. I like these the best, where it's like there's nothing but the crystal. I think those are the coolest kind of thin necks.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that's sweet, man.
I'm one thing that
Really.
I'm trying to help the guy who I mentioned earlier, Chris, the guy who I got my Luke from, he's going to also try and help me get a see if he can add in the extent one of the like longer emitters like that on the Luke SE that allow a more blade depth. Because look, even if it's not accurate, it's a nice thing to have, especially if I like during a con I want to like do a small like duel with someone.
Oh, you mean that little for the thin neck? You mean?
Yeah, because
Well,
look,
like the nipple part where it'll extend out.
like a more like a long a bigger a bit longer emitter. Because look, don't get me wrong, I know it's not accurate, but when at cons and stuff like that, it's better for blade gripping.
Well, a lot of the thin necks now. I know the Book of Boba Fett one has the ring comes off, and so
Yeah.
you have the two rings. You have the ring like this, and then you have the one that you can like that has the extended part. That's
one
pretty cool.
The one that Anakin Starkiller designed, it looks nice, but it's not as it doesn't hold as much blade. It holds like what, an inch and a half, 2 inches.
Not even, dude. On a thin neck, you might get maybe an inch if you're lucky, but most of the time it's less than an inch.
The Kenobi SE that was made for LGT, it's for the 1 inch blade. It's the same one that can also fit on their version of the Kenobi. I can get around 2.5 inches, which is pretty good. And I'm hoping that I can apply the same thing. The loop that I have.
I'll be right back, guys.
1 second. I'll show you the loop stunt that I have. It's actually one from X-Tech, much the same as the Ventress one. Here.
Okay.
It's of course it's not as accurate as it's got some work to do. It's got some work to do. The
Looks
grip,
like the shared stunt version.
yeah, it's the stunt version, and it's got it has a bit of grip. It has some grip to this, but this is where the PCB is going to go. So I'd say it's about an inch and a half, maybe. But my hope is to get the one that is used on the Luke SE, and hopefully he can find a way to hopefully like Dremel or extend it if it will fit.
Does it come with a? So that emitter cup looks like it's deep anyway, compared to like the standard thin neck.
Yeah. And what's cool about the X-Tech version is that all the pieces come apart.
That's cool.
Like, seriously, take a look at this. So, pommel off.
Okay, so that does it right there. That's cool.
Yeah,
so I like that. I like that.
And the clamp section also comes off too. In fact, this is a full-on clamp, so it's really nice. And that's why I'm hoping when I send this in to Lucky Sabers, he'll be able to do an amazing weathering job on it.
Yeah, you have to pull a lot of that stuff off.
Well, I mean,
which is not hard to do. I mean, this was just all paint that was then just taken off, pulled back.
Yeah, there is actually an Etsy store that actually sells fake gaffer tape. It's a V2 gaffer tape adapter.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's by this guy called Trooper Trent.
Trooper Trent, yeah, Trooper Trent he has the stencil too, the official stencil that Halifax uses for. I don't know if you know Danny Halifax. He's like the V2
No.
guy.
Oh, I know who Danny Halifax is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the guy behind Anakin Starkiller.
Yeah. He's a great dude. That guy, I do a lot of his installs. I did his rescuer, so he weathered it like screen accurately, and that thing was just awesome. But he's a big Trooper Trent guy. He uses that in all his builds.
Yeah. But
What other installers have you dealt with, Rich? I mean, that how many different installers have you worked with, so to speak?
I mean, how many people I interacted with? You mean? I
Yeah.
guess. Well, I mean, I've met Albert from Smuggler's Outpost. He's from Dallas. We met last year, actually, around this time. We went to Comic-Con, the Dallas Fan Expo. I met him up there. He was with Jeremy. Was there. Benji was there. A couple other people. Tim from
Tearfun.
was it
Tearfun? Yeah.
Really, they're all super great guys. They were all super great guys. Working with people though, like actually having them work with, not a lot of people that other installers, mostly a lot of clients, but not other people's work. I mean, Jeremy, I bought a couple Sabers off of Jeremy, which was cool. His Coda hilt. You ever see that hilt?
Yeah, I love it.
That's
I
a
like
cool
the
looking
aesthetic
hilt.
of it.
Yeah,
I like
that's
the
a cool looking
aesthetic
hilt.
of it.
When I installed it, I did something a little different. He's got those like 3 little windows for light to shine through. I made those the buttons instead of using the clamp card, because the clamp card, I've always have a love-hate relationship with clamp card activations. They never work the way you want. But his stuff is really
Yeah, that's why I used the brass tactiles, because they work a lot better.
brass tactiles are cool. Weather siren. I don't know if I should be seeking cover. Let's see. 10:15. What's it down in San Antonio? Or not San Antonio. Corpus. Mundo.
Yeah. Right now it's just windy, man. It's been windy all day. I tell you, if you fly a kite, you might be flying off with the kite.
Yeah.
That's how windy it's over here, man.
Maybe I'll check the weather, see if the local news.
It's nice though. It was hot earlier, man. It's a little cooled down right now, but damn, it was hot earlier. And we had my daughter's graduation party today too. So yesterday we did all the clean out and everything yesterday, and made sure that just sitting in the patio, her and her friends had a lot of fun in the patio. Back patio.
Sirens are getting pretty loud. I should
Most of in San Antonio is muggy. Yeah. I mean, San Antonio's it's about the same here, but I mean it's nice where I'm at. So a tornado siren.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, hey, maybe should I seek shelter? I don't know. On the local Facebook. I'm just checking to see the weather. See if it's
Mo and Fern. Y'all live in San Antonio. You guys need to meet, and then maybe one day I should meet up with both of you guys. Right? Everybody meet up in San Antonio.
It's heading towards Frisco. That's where I live. It's going to be pretty big. So, Muno, I'm probably going to hop off.
Yeah, I think we're all going to hop off too. So, yeah, seek shelter, my friend. Remember, grab that Saber. Yeah, that Saber.
The force right?
Right? Hey, yeah, let me get the battery in here. We're going to light up Sabers, man. And we're gonna call it a night. Let's light them up and call it a night, man. It was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed this, and I hope everybody that's come into the chat and listening, I hope you had some fun too, man. Damn, that's loud.
Give me a second.
It's a loud one.
Let me tell you this: when installing a Smuggler's Outpost speaker on a Nexus chassis, Definitely worth it.
Oh yeah,
Smuggler's Outpost.
definitely,
Albert stuff is the best.
absolutely. Here's to you, Albert. We love your speakers, bro.
All right, man. Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
You
See
too,
ya.
man. And we're gonna leave with that.
All right. See you
All
Monday.
right, so I'm gonna brand out. Let's see here. I'm gonna brand out here just a minute. One last look. May the force be with you guys. Again, like and subscribe. For those of you who come and are new around to the channel, love to have you one of these days and come on to the show. Good night, Reese. Hey, and if anybody hasn't seen Reese's video yet, watch Reese's video because he's going to be gone for a little while, and Anthony and I will definitely go. We're going to miss him, man, for a couple of months. He's going to go do some cool stuff, man. And Reese, I'm going to pray for you. Have a good time and kick ass over there, dude. And I tell you. Um, it's such a pleasure to have everybody here again, man. Like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers. If you watch Civilized Sabers, you also can see on Instagram the Mundo channel, right? So what you see here, you're gonna see over there. Like and subscribe over there. There's a few videos over there that you won't see here, just because you know the account got flagged or whatever for a couple of those videos, man. And hopefully the next go round we'll have James from Mountain Sabers on. He's a lot of fun. Make sure you like and subscribe to him. Make sure Darth Barris you like and subscribe to his stuff on
Yep.
Instagram and Facebook also, or not? Barris, you got
Not
Facebook too?
Facebook. It's my own private account, but I'm active on the lightsaber forums. So if anyone
Okay.
in that, yeah.
All right. So with that, guys, may the force be with you guys. Thank you, guys. Love you, everybody, and we'll see you next Sunday. Peace.